Thank you so much for listening to the Shawn1113 podcast show, a show about sports in general and life in general sometimes. I am your host, Shawn1113, and thank you in advance for listening to this podcast anywhere and everywhere in the world, wherever platform you may be listening to. Please share this content and give it a 5-star rating as well. And with that, before we get to the NFL and college football picks, which maybe do, I want to make a couple of thoughts on other sports items as well. The Ryder Cup. Um, well, I was not surprised that Europe won it. Um, basically, they were dominant from the beginning to the end, even when the USA rallied. And the problem with the USA, they get off to the slow starts when Europe has won the recent Ryder Cups, in my opinion, and do and when they do, it's too late. Europe has the experienced players. Most of the USA players have played each other, but never really teamed before. So everything dynamics are just all over the place. In Europe, it's more of a cohesive unit, in my opinion. So USA is going to have to find some things in their next Ryder Cup in order to get things done in order to win the Ryder Cup back. So let's see what happens there. And I was talking too long about it, right? Because I saw some of that. Major League Baseball postseason has just got started as of this recording, and it is October by the way, so a lot of things are going on here there. But MLB postseason has started. Um, I picked Cleveland over Detroit, but Detroit won, and everything's the best of three by the way. But Detroit won that game one over Detroit. I picked the Yankees over Boston for some reason, but Boston um, Boston did a great job of pitching. Max Fried in that one, as of this recording. My Dodgers, continue to dominate with a messy bullpen over the Cincinnati Reds, which are a scrappy team, right, by the way, to their credit. Because the Mets choke like chickens, my opinion. And then San Diego and the Cubs. Cubs did a really good job in game one with the pitching. San Diego couldn't get anything. And Chicago got key hits. We'll see what happens in the rest of the series. I picked San Diego for Chicago in that one, and then the Dodgers over Cincinnati to predict. So we'll see that there. English Premier League. There is hope in the English Premier League. Liverpool can be beaten. Did Crystal Palace figure a way out for the rest of the Premier League teams to beat Liverpool? Well, I'm going to say no for right now, but we'll see what happens. It's the most interesting question because Crystal Palace did upset Liverpool. We'll see what happens there. A lot of English Premier League at the pitch left. Now, a lot of other sports are going to be coming in October. NHL, October 7th, and then NBA. I'm going to be making my picks there. I'm going to be very interested to see. Like I said, on the TV side, ESPN, NBC, Peacock, and Prime. Prime. I can't wait for the NBC one though. I'm willing to admit, and I'm very interested to see what kind of presentation Prime does. I do have Amazon Prime, so very interested to see what the NBA does there. But I would not be shocked in the least that Oklahoma City is champions. I'm going to say that right now, right up front. I think Oklahoma City will repeat as champions if everything goes goes um goes their way. To be honest with you, so with that, now we can talk about college and pro football. College football, pick six, lot of things going on. Florida State had no business losing to Virginia. Um, it's a, I mean, Alabama probably carried the Boys' biggest win of the season over Georgia. That's a huge win. That's a huge win. And Penn State still can't win the big games when it counts, losing to Oregon in overtime. Wow. So a lot of football left. Ohio State is a scary. By the way, Ohio State, in my opinion, their defense is scary. I mean, scary. Excuse me. That is maybe the best defense I've seen in a long while. Ohio State's defense. They don't necessarily have the best offense, but their defense is scary. And in my opinion, that might get them to the national championship again. So we'll see what happens. Oregon, though, week 7, keep your eye on that game. Oregon and Indiana, Indiana against Oregon. Keep your eye on that game week 7. Meanwhile, let's make the picks on week 6 of college football and week 5 in the NFL. That's how quickly things have been this year. 25. Shawn Steele's CFB, pick 6, week 6. Here we go. Iowa State and Cincinnati picking Iowa State. Virginia and Louisville picking Louisville. Boise State and Notre Dame picking Notre Dame. Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Maybe that's a trap game for Texas A&M, but I'm going to pick the Aggies in that one. Vanderbilt or Alabama. I think Alabama is a little more prepared to take Vanderbilt than they were last year, far more. I'm picking Alabama or Vanderbilt. And then the big one, Miami and Florida State. I'm going to pick the Miami Hurricanes, okay? Okay. Florida State took even if it's in Tallahassee. That's my pick that's my pick 6, week 6, 2025, 2026. Then Shawn Steele's NFL picks week 5. Here we go. 14 games on the docket. And by the way, I was 10-5-1, 42-21-1, 68%, which is right on line. Shawn Steele's NFL picks 2025, 26, week 5. Here we go. San Francisco and the Los Angeles Rams in a good one, picking the Rams. Minnesota and Cleveland in London, picking Minnesota. Houston and Baltimore. I'm actually going to pick Houston here. Something's not right in Baltimore ever since that week 1 loss to Buffalo. They have never been the same team. Even when they played Cleveland, it was a touch and go game for a little bit. But I'm gonna pick Houston in an upset. Miami and Carolina. I'm gonna pick Miami besides Tyreek Hill, the best to Tyreek Hill for his injury. That was pretty much a downer. Find a way to beat the Jets. If they can't beat Carolina, Miami can. Miami doesn't deserve a playoff, the sniff of the playoffs, because Carolina is a bad team. I'm gonna pick Miami with Carolina for sure. Las Vegas and Indianapolis. I'm picking Indianapolis. Raiders fans, how do you blow a lead against Chicago? Ask yourselves. I mean, how did you blow a lead over Chicago? The game was right in your hands, and you just let the Bears off the hook, said the late Dennis Green. That's all I'm going to say about that. New York Giants and New Orleans. I'm going to pick the Giants here. Would I be surprised if New Orleans won? No. But the Giants have more energy. Malik Neighbors' injury, unfortunately, dampens that. But Jackson Dart brought an energy to that team that they sorely needed. But I'm going to pick the Giants here in a close one. Dallas and the New York Jets after that tie. I'm going to pick Dallas. Denver and Philadelphia, it's a pretty hard pick. But I'm going to pick Philadelphia at home. If it was a Denver, I would pick Denver. But I'm picking Philadelphia since they're at home. Tennessee and Arizona, picking Arizona. Enough said. Here's a potentially great game here. Tampa Bay and Seattle. Again, if it was in Tampa, I would pick Tampa. But since in Seattle, I'm going to pick Seattle Seahawks here. Detroit and Cincinnati, I'm going to pick Detroit. That's all I'm going to say. Washington and the Los Angeles Chargers, picking the Chargers to bounce back. Excuse me. New England and Buffalo on Sunday night. NBC probably like, boy. That could be a potential blowout. It could be a potential trap game for Buffalo, but I'm going to pick Buffalo here. And then the last one, Kansas City and Jacksonville. Is Kansas City actually back? I'm going to pick Kansas City. I don't trust Jacksonville yet to win the big one, win a meaningful game yet. But I'm going to pick Kansas City here. over Jacksonville. We'll see what happens there. That is the Shawn1113 podcast show. Believe it or not, for October 1st. That's how fast 2025 has been. And again, thank you for listening to the Shawn1113 podcast show. Please stay encouraged no matter what and live your life as normal possible in an abnormal world. And please comment, like, hit that 5-star rating, and share this podcast. It's going to be on YouTube and also on X, Twitter. And with that, once again, thank you so much. God bless you.